Hello, Khan Academy and mathematicians. Today's lesson will be on time. So there are two types of clocks. One is called analog, the other is digital, which we'll go over later. These are two examples of analog clocks, and we're going to start off with the red one. You may have already noticed that there are these three stick-like things on this clock that are called hands. So the short hand is called the hours hand, showing the number of hours that have passed in the day. The long hand is called the minutes hand, showing the number of minutes that have passed in the hour. And some clocks don't have this, but this thin hand is called the seconds hand, showing the number of seconds that have passed in the minute. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour and 60 seconds in 1 minute. After every hour, the hour hand moves to the next number. For example, we start at 12 and we're going to move this minute hand around the clock because it's going to be an hour. You'll see that the hour hand, which is the short hand, moves one number over to the right. So that's 12 to 1. And this is also called clockwise, which is to the right, and counterclockwise is to the left. But what if the hour hand is in between two numbers? For example, what if it's in between 3 and 4? What would the hour be? Well, the hour will always be the number that had passed. So in this case, it would be 3. Now, if it's in between 8 and 9, it passes by 8, it didn't pass by 9 yet, so the hour would be 8. So we're going to bring in the silver clock with the dots in front of the numbers, and those dots represent the minutes, with one dot being equal to 1 minute. And because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, there should be 60 dots on that clock. And also there are increments of 5 minutes between each big number for every clock, and here it's shown with 5 dots. And we're going to draw that out. So if the minutes hand is on 1, it's going to be 5. If it's on 2, it's going to be 10. And an easier way to remember this is to multiply the number that the minute hand is on by 5. And we're going to put a 0 on the top of the clock to represent a new hour that's beginning. Now let's do some practice. So let's assume that the minute hand is on the 3. How many minutes would have passed? 15, because we have to multiply 3 by 5. Now let's put the minute hand on the 11. Then it would be 55 minutes that have passed because we have to multiply 11 by 5. Now using the information that we just learned, let's try to find time with the hours and the minutes. So we see that the hour hand is in between 11 and 12, so the hour must be 11 because it just passed 11. And the minute hand is pointing at the 4. It must be 20 minutes because 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So we would write this time as 11:20 followed by AM or PM. So it's hard to tell on an analog clock whether to write AM or PM, but on a digital clock it's easier. For example, here you would see if it's AM or PM. So AM stands for before midday or 12 o'clock at noon, and PM stands for after midday or 12 o'clock at noon. So let's just say it's after midday at 11:20, so we would write it as 11:20 PM. Now let's learn about the digital clock. It virtually tells the same exact thing as the analog clock, except in a different form. So we see 1:2 3. And it's the same exact form that we used to write 11:20 PM earlier. So on the left side of the colon, it shows the hours. And on the right side, you guessed it, shows the minutes. So this says 1 hour, 24 minutes, and next to the PM symbol, there is no dot, showing us that's AM, so it's 1:24 AM. Now let's go over some key facts. We covered this before, but there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, and the shortened way to write minutes is MIN. The shortened way to write hour is HR. There are 24 hours in 1 day, 7 days in 1 week. So knowing this information, can you calculate how many minutes there are in 1 week? So that's a little challenge to leave you with. I hope you now have a better understanding of time and how to find it and so on. Thank you so much for watching. This video was made by Michelle Chin.